Hi, and welcome back to Uproarious. I'm Rory, and today we're going to talk about how to change our emotions using Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The first step in changing our relationship with our emotions is to recognize the things that make us more or less likely to feel any particular emotion. Have you ever been so hungry that you became angry? Some people call this being hangry. Have you ever been so tired that you couldn't feel anything other than sadness, even when you felt like you should feel other emotions? These are examples of what I call emotional magnifiers. Anytime we have a condition in our mind, our body, in the way that we're living our life, or in our environment that makes us more or less likely to experience an emotion, that's something that we can target to improve our relationship with our emotions and have the emotional responses that are both appropriate to the situation and effective to the situation. Anytime we're talking about taking care of ourselves, there's a really good model that we can refer to. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's usually presented in a pyramid shape, and it includes all of the parts of our psychology that rely on our needs being met for us to be able to thrive. Each need in Maslow's model is based on a series of observations and studies done to recognize which are our most basic needs. What needs do we have that when they're not met, we can't get anything else done? Or when they're not met, we can't worry about anything else, even if that other thing is very important to us. Now, Maslow's model is very comprehensive. It includes a great number of things, everything from food and water to spiritual health and community. I'm going to break down Maslow's hierarchy into a few categories that we're going to be able to digest and approach using the same skills. The foundation layer of Maslow's pyramid is called physiological needs. The physiological needs are the things that our body literally cannot operate without. This includes oxygen, calories, sleep, and elimination. The second layer of Maslow's pyramid includes safety and security. This includes all forms of security and safety. Anytime we feel threatened, one of our safety needs isn't being met, and we have to make changes to make ourselves feel safe before we can move on to other things. The next layer of the pyramid is love and belonging, and there is a micro scale to this to a macro scale, very, very small, honed in, detailed, to very large and general. For our smallest and most detailed, we have what's called self-esteem, self-image, and self-respect. Now, this category of skills is all about how we think about ourselves, and feel about the things that we do or have done in life. Now, the opposite end of this is the macro scale, how we fit in with all of humanity. It's important for us to feel belonging on all parts of the spectrum, from the micro scale to the macro scale. Everything from self-love to community belonging on a global scale is important for us to consider when we're thinking about whether or not our needs are being met. If we feel like we have no family, no community, no purpose, no role in the world, we're not going to feel like we are loved and that we belong. And not having that need met can keep us from moving further up this pyramid and getting other needs met. I will note that Maslow's original model puts self-esteem as a higher level than love and belonging. But for the purposes of this channel, we're going to talk about them on the same level because every person's needs are going to be different, and your need for self-esteem is just as critical as your need for belonging in a community. Once we've recognized that we've met all of our needs, from food and water to safety, security, emotional and social belonging, a sense of self-love, and being respected and loved by others, what comes next? The final category in Maslow's hierarchy of needs is called self-actualization, and this is where we feel like we are becoming the best versions of ourselves. Now, for some people, this looks like achievement, becoming the best CEO, the best parent, the best minister, the best teacher that they can be. For other people, it's about having a broader impact on the world or feeling more connected to the world. When we're in this part of the pyramid and meeting our needs, we have room for spontaneity and creativity. We have the room and the comfort to stretch ourselves thin, see what our limits are, and keep pushing forward. Now, if this process becomes unsafe for us, if for some reason we don't feel confident and competent and comfortable doing things like taking risks or pushing our limits, we're going to stop, and that's going to mean that we're not fulfilling our needs. So it's important, if you are meeting all of your other needs, to look at your creativity, to look at your community, your morals, your ethics, and your values, and see where are you not living up to who you think you should be or who you want to be. That's all of the portions of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We have to look at our sense of safety, our physiological needs, our sense of community, love, and belonging, and then pursue self-actualization to have the best relationship with ourselves. Now, each of these layers has its own opportunity to become a magnifier of an emotion that's not appropriate, or a magnifier of an emotion that is appropriate. And being able to recognize how our needs influence our emotions is a critical part in getting control of our emotions and having a better relationship with them. The biggest thing I want you to take away is, even though Maslow did put this in a hierarchy, as in some of these needs are more basic and pressing than others, that's not always going to be true for every person. We are all complex, magnificent creatures with our own thoughts, desires, and needs, and our hierarchy of needs may look slightly differently. For example, I have needs for community and creativity that when they are not met, I don't want to eat. I get less good sleep. I am just generally more disposed to be unpleasant and unhappy. And this is because I have a fundamental need to be social and to be creative. If we lock ourselves into Maslow's hierarchy, we're not allowing ourselves to be complex creatures, and we always have to remember that we are complex creatures. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to break down Maslow's hierarchy of needs into specific categories and the ways that we can identify whether or not those needs are being met, and then take care of them so that we have a better relationship with our emotions. I hope you join me for these because they're actually a lot of fun and there's a lot of information to share that I can't put all in one video, so it will be broken up by category. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my video on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Check out next week's video if you want to learn more about taking care of our physiological needs. If you want more information, check the website linked in the description below. Thanks for stopping by, and remember to be kind to yourself and to others.